Hail and welcome. A dearth, a dosage, and a Florence of nurses. I have in my time coined more than one three-letter acronym and at least one new collective noun. The latter are a fun, intellectual diversion from the troubles of the world at large. It is a word game that appeals to those that love words. It has amused me to discover that the collective noun for a group or gathering of medical students is an incompetence. I suspect that this collective noun was coined or created by some clever professor at Oxford or Cambridge. It has that air about it. There is a suggestion of towers, spires, and swirling gowns. Way back in 2003, I was asked what the collective noun for student nurses should be, and I suggested a dosage. I personally feel that it fits the need quite well, but as far as I'm aware, it has not yet caught on. I am informed that the approved collective noun for nurses is in fact an apron, although alternatives such as dearth, heaven, and injection are occasionally used. My own personal suggestion is that the collective noun for nurses should be Florence. This is my humorous recognition of the influence of the famous Nightingale herself. The lesser-known term dearth is remarkably accurate, as it reflects the dreadful shortage of staff within the United Kingdom healthcare system. The National Health Service is maintained by foreign workers today, doctors, nurses, assistants, and the various associated professions. Some, such as doctors, train here and then return to their homeland, as we train people well here in Britain. British-born nurses, trained here, frequently move to Australia, Canada, and occasionally the USA. Retaining staff is a major obstacle that has been ignored by successive governments, both Labour and Conservative. At the time of writing this podcast, nurses here in the United Kingdom are threatening to strike, and some actually are. This is an historic moment. It has never happened before. Historically, nurses do not strike. We frequently put the welfare of our patients before our own, but people have grown tired of the platitudes. We are witnessing a major change in attitude brought about by years of abuse, being ignored, undervalued, debanding, and pension robbery. During the pandemic, we were the heroes, but we were still treated badly when the lockdowns came to an end. We had applause, but applause doesn't pay the bills, and neither does a George medal. The harsh truth is that nurses are neither paid well in real terms, nor genuinely valued. Now that the emergency is all but over, society and politicians can return to treating healthcare workers, and here I include all NHS employees, as worthless and of no importance. Contrary to what the newspapers may tell you, very few nurses in the United Kingdom earn more than £30,000 per year. The average figures oft quoted are inaccurate, as they reflect the inclusion of nurse managers, which, although they are departmental managers, they are not nurses in the traditional sense, and should not be included. Perhaps with the coming of strikes, and it cannot be denied that the actions will raise many ethical questions, just as the doctors' strike did a few years ago, perhaps with these actions, society and politicians will learn a lesson, a dosage of their own medicine, a lesson on who is actually of value to society as a whole: nurses, doctors, healthcare assistants, allied professions, or a parliament full of corrupt, uncaring, and selfish politicians. With that, I bid you hail and farewell.